Hey everyone, today I want to talk about a simple and powerful exercise to reduce your anxiety and depressive thoughts in 2 to 3 minutes. And it's a really simple exercise, anyone can use it. So, step one is you want to recognize and take a step back. And that is when you are recognizing that you are spinning out in anxiety and your mind is just taking you on a fast roller coaster ride, or you're spinning down in depressive, heavy thoughts. So you want to recognize that that is happening and you want to take a step back from it. Even if every cell in your body is making you feel that this is 100% true and your mind is telling you a story and you are 100% caught up in it, you want to separate yourself from that because, or else you'll just go with it for however long you feel and are thinking that way. Now, step two is you want to write it down. You want to write down the thoughts you are telling yourself. You want to get really clear because the mind can move very quickly and no one is listening to what you are telling yourself, so it's unfiltered. And so you actually want to get really clear and write down exactly what you're telling yourself, because once you make it clear, you might even realize, like, I don't totally believe that. I don't totally buy that. Or you might also see that this isn't even happening. This might be some future projected, complete negative, polarized perception that, and you're getting yourself worked up about it and worked up about someone that you care about. You could be getting mad at someone by something you're coming up with in your own mind. So you want to write it down and get clear. Step three is you want to find the origin. Where did this type of thinking begin? Where did this really start? It could be an internal or an external trigger. So an internal trigger can look like something where you forgot to pay a bill. And 10, 20 minutes later, you followed a stream of consciousness where you were having a lot of negative self-talk, beating yourself up about, I'm just not on top of things in my life. Things are spinning out of control. Am I losing my mind because I can't remember everything anymore? And 20 minutes later, you can be feeling awful. You can be feeling incredibly anxious or really down on yourself. And what triggered it was just forgetting to pay a bill and then telling yourself a really negative story. Now, an external trigger can be as simple as walking by someone on the street and recognizing, gosh, they have a really nice body. And 20 minutes later, you can be beating yourself up about how you feel like you're never going to get your body back to where it used to be, or your partner who you really love, what if they don't want to be with you anymore in 10, 15 years from now? And you can really take yourself on a negative tangent without even realizing it was just literally walking by someone who had a really nice ass, and 20 minutes later you're beating yourself up about it and maybe projecting into the future on something that has not even happened yet. Or you went back into the past where someone maybe rejected you and you're beating yourself up about that and seeing it from a really negative perspective. So you want to trace back and see where all this started. Now, step four is the most important. And this is where you want to look at actuality and the truth. What is actually happening? What is the larger picture? And you want to create a counterbalance statement to all the negativity. So know that when you are telling yourself these highly anxious or low upsetting thoughts, that they're polarized, they're one-sided, so they can't be entirely true. And the saying goes, don't believe everything you hear. Well, when you're in a really high stress state, don't believe everything you're hearing in your mind. It can't be true because it's so one-sided. So what you want to do is you want to come back to your center and your wisdom, and you want to look at it from a larger perspective. So, for example, let's say something bad happens at work and your boss mentions to you, like, hey, I need you to work on this. And 15, 20 minutes later, your mind is racing and you're worrying, is my job on the line? Am I going to have to get a new job? Who's going to want to hire me? Am I going to have to move? And you could literally just follow that stream of consciousness that is catastrophic thinking and really overwhelming yourself massively. So if that were happening, you could stop and create a counterbalance statement by pulling back and saying, well, in actuality, I am really good at all these different things in my job. And the truth is, people have told me that I'm really good in these areas. So actually, I'm pretty invaluable in my job. And so the truth is maybe what I need to do is, it's not the worst in the world. Really, what I need to do is just focus in on this area, this problem that's being presented, and come up with new solutions or new strategies and put a little bit more time and effort into that. So it's not doomsday. It's not the end of the world. It's just feedback that I need to improve in this area. And this is the same. You can use this counterbalance statement for anything. It can be, if you're physically not feeling great, you can say, well, it's not like I'm going to be like this forever, but do I need to change my thinking? Do I need to put myself first more? Do I need to be working out more? Do I need to put a higher value on what I'm eating and how I'm taking care of myself? So the counterbalance statement and working with truth is that you are also, you're moving away from the problem, you're moving into wisdom and into the solution, that your anxiety or your depressive thoughts really aren't only negative, they're actually trying to teach you something and bring you back into balance. And this can be used even if the worst is absolutely happening and things are just falling apart around you. A counterbalance statement could literally be, gravity is still at play, my feet are walking on the earth. There's food for me to eat. And there are people that I can, friends or family that I can reach out to, or society that can help me. And you start from there. Because if you're in a crisis, life or death situation, you're just not going to be thinking in your wisdom. And that is really where you want to come to. So rework that counterbalance statement until you really start to feel yourself more centered and empowered and calm. And the fifth and final step is to repeat, because we have so many thoughts throughout our day. Even if you just pick up your phone, you can have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, text messages, voicemail, email. Any one of those things can trigger you and set you off. And an hour later, you don't even know why you feel the way you do. So you want to begin to be the observer of your emotional and mental state and pull back into your wisdom and come to truth. And you'll be amazed once you get the hang of this. This is really practice and repeat, practice and repeat, that you can do it very quickly in your mind. Once you get the hang of it, you won't have to write it down. And you're just learning and moving into the solution more throughout your day. Now this exercise reminds me of a really great quote I recently heard by Tony Robbins, and he said, "Your brain is not designed to make you happy. That is your job." And what I love about this quote is it is pointing to the fact that we are not our transient thoughts and emotions. If you do this exercise, you can actually see that there is a greater wisdom and power within you that is the truth of who you really are. And it's about tapping into that part of yourself rather than being run by your brain and your chemicals in your body. But if you're interested in learning about why you have anxiety in the first place, I recommend checking out my book on Amazon, The Anxiety Solution. It will teach you that your anxiety is not a weakness or mistake of your body, that you have anxiety for a reason, and it helps you to isolate the specific mental and emotional stress that's been building up for decades that is triggering your biological symptoms. So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you, and I look forward to sharing more tips with you in the future.